Hey there, what's up? This is Jay from swimtrading.com, aka Swim Trader. Last week we talked about two markets, which was the S&P 500 and Germany 30. So welcome back. This week I'm going to continue to look at the two markets and see how they have performed, as well as one key market that everyone has been talking about. So without further ado, let's look at the chart over here. This is a chart of S&P 500 futures. So as you can see, in the most zoom out manner, we are looking at a magnificent 9-year bull run, which is characterized by this uptrend line that I have in blue. So zooming into the latest portion, you can see that the drawings have been largely unchanged, because last week what happened was it just stayed range bounded. So last week when I did the video, I was saying that I'm expecting, so last week was here, right? So I'm expecting it gets resisted here and then it do a breakout to test the R1, of which it did. But is it going to be a false breakout? Well, it took one whole week and we are unable to find it out just yet. So what happened? Let me zoom in to this most recent action and let's see what we are or what we can expect from the market this week. So last week we were looking at this and then it got resisted at R1. From now that what I see here is that it has done a breakout, a successful breakout, getting resisted at R1, and then now it is stuck in this zone. So this is also known as a retest. So now it is retest the 2876.5 level, and by the looks of it, it seems that it is slated to make a higher high in the coming week. So whether does it break the higher high or not depends on these two levels that I think it is pretty important moving forward, because this is the upper bound of the week and then this is the lower bound of the week. So these two levels are the key levels that I'll be looking at. So what do I mean by that? Okay, so let me just erase the lines and you can see if prices continue to go up and break above this key level, I will want to watch for a retest and then continue to go up and test the high of 2940 or 2950 thereabout. So that is scenario number one, the bullish scenario. Then what about a bearish scenario like I have outlined last week? Well, this is a resistance, this is R1, and this is the resistance that we have plotted. So if it comes back down, and this is the key level for last week, the range of last week, if it goes up and unable to sustain any higher and comes back down, okay, and breaks below this low of last week, what happened is this whole chunk over here, all right? So this whole chunk over here will be classified as a false break, okay? FB, not Facebook, all right? It's false break. So then I would be expecting S&P 500 to trend downwards and test at the 2820 level, but evidently last week I was watching for it, it didn't happen, it just stayed sideways for the 5 sessions. So this week again, upside, okay, watch out for this high and watch out for this low over here. High of the week, low of the week, and then ultimate target for this week, if it breaks up, we have a limited upside, probably around 2945, 2950, and if it comes down, I'm looking at the retest of this pivot level, which is at 2820. All right, so this is for the S&P 500. Let's look at another market that I trade the most, which is Germany 30. Well, as far as Germany 30 is concerned, again, it got resisted pretty nicely at R1, as you can see. The market make in the last 5 sessions, Monday over here and then Tuesday over here, brought it upwards and then it tested R1. But what I didn't like about this is you can see that there's a significant pickup in activity towards the close of the week and market are not going anywhere. So this is a potential sign of churning, and I am not so optimistic as to whether Germany 30 will break above the R1, do a retest, and then after that continue upwards to the upside of 12,400 in the coming week. Well, it could happen, it could not happen, but what I think is My expectation of it is that well, everyone can see that this is a flag pattern, right? Everyone can see that, or a rectangle pattern they call it. Then there is a breakout. So what do people do in a breakout? Well, most people would just buy and set their order to buy around here. And where do they set their stop loss? Usually it is around these levels, right? So it is in these areas that most people will set their stop loss. So what I'm looking out for is a breakout and then a retest, and this retest has to be successful. If the retest is not successful and then it comes back down, so this would constitute another false break scenario, so another FB scenario, and I would look to short it down towards the pivot level of 11950, maybe, yeah, 11900. So I'll be looking to short it down, especially after triggering all the stop losses over here. So that is a sell stop, right? All the selling orders over there. So you get triggered and then it will just come back all the way down. So this is what I have for Germany 30, and I'm not so optimistic as it compares to S&P 500 because I do not like what I see here. With an increased volume and prices are just stuck in a very tightly contested zone. All right. So this is for Germany 30, and for this week video, I am going to share with you a market that has made some headlines about gold, the safe haven. Well, gold, this is pretty interesting, isn't it? Well, we can see that gold on Friday itself, it is massive profit taking. So what we saw in gold was the starting of June. You can see gold started from 1280 and then it went all the way up, does a simple pullback and then a continuation, right? So in such a case, usually what people will say is this is P1, and then after that you will have a successful P2, which should bring it to the level of 1370, which is around there, right? So is it going to happen? Is it going to go up to 1370? Well, in my opinion, I don't think so. Why? Maybe it will, maybe it wouldn't. Well, let me explain why. So in a successful, a simple pullback and then a continuation, one thing that we shouldn't see is this sign of rejection. Okay, so this is a massive sign of rejection where gold in the same session came down from 1360 all the way down to close at 134 something, right? 42.5 maybe. So this is almost a $17.5 drop, and this sign of rejection, right, I'm sure will spook many traders. However, my take on this is the coming week, I do not think it will immediately go like this, retest and then come down to R1. It is not that simple, because usually the signs of this rejection, right, this one, if you have observed the market long enough, and you will know that some of this so-called pin bar, especially in one that is so obvious, they are obviously a trap. So traders who saw a rejection that is this strong would have their orders to short at the lower of this candle, the lower tip of this candle. So they will go there, and then where would be their stop loss? Well, some of them may place the stop loss in the middle of the zone. Some of them may place it slightly above, depending on the target, depending on the risk appetite. So what you can expect is when this happens, right? Well, it's too obvious. I do not think it's going down. Not so straightforward. Well, I may be wrong, but I do think that what may happen is that the current session, it may attempt to do a false break, okay? May attempt to do a breakdown first, and then got resisted upwards, and then it continues until in this area where it got rejected again. So in the grand scheme of things, right, I'm looking at 1360 as a key level where the rejection should happen. Why? Allow me to zoom this out, okay? Allow me to zoom this out, and you are able to see many different lines. Let me explain the lines later. But you can see that for the longest time since 2013, gold has not been able to break above this 1360 zone for the last almost I would say 5.5 years to 6 years, okay, since then. All right, so gold has not been able to break above this level. So whether will it break above this time, maybe it will, maybe it will not. So now let me explain the trend lines that I have. So first thing first, I would like you to ignore the pink color line first, okay? But look at the blue color downtrend line. So this blue color downtrend line is pretty accepted by the whole market, because you can see this one is a support, then it became a resistance, then support again, then after that blue line, okay, resistance, and then support. So the same blue line, same thing, resistance, and then after that become resistance and then support. So it seems that every time it breaks out of this downtrend, then it will come back and test this downtrend line, which is a good thing, because if you zoom in from here, pardon the so many lines. All right, so let me erase away all the horizontal support resistance first. So now looking at ignoring the pink color line, you can see that again, time and time again, you do a breakout of this trend line, okay, and then it will come back and do a retest. You break out of the trend line, it comes back and do a retest. So I'm expecting the same. You break out of this trend line, now it comes back and does a retest over there, which is pretty consistent throughout history. So if you know how to use the trend line, well, the trend line is your best friend over here if you know how to use it. So if you were to zoom in, right, or rather if you were to zoom out, you can see that we ran out of reference point, because this was the high. All right, this was the high, and if you reference it downwards over here, you can see that it became a resistance, and then now it tested, it was a support, and then now it broke out. So one thing's for sure is that gold has broken out of the long-term downtrend, the LTDT. So gold has broken out of the long-term downtrend. That's why when I was doing my analysis, that prompted me to plot the uptrend line. So the uptrend line is signified by the pink color line over here. So this explains why I have downtrend line first and then the uptrend line. So in this uptrend, right, you can see this is another angle that is pretty much accepted by market participants for a few reasons. You can see here tested, resisted, tested again, and the same angle is tested again here, and then now here, and now a retest over there. So this angle is pretty much accepted by market participants. So now, since gold has seems to be breaking out of the long-term downtrend, okay, the LTDT, what happened is I'm looking, the retest is already been done here at R1, okay, and where is it likely to go? I would think that, like even I mentioned it just now, so let me zoom this in. So this one, usually it is a trap. So when it is a trap, where is it likely to trap to? Well, it may trap the people to do a sell order over here, okay, trigger the stop loss in the middle or maybe at the end of the range. Then it goes back up again, and the target for this week for gold, okay, the high side, it is 1370, which coincides with the R3 as well as the uptrend line that we have plotted using this as a reference point. Okay, so I will be looking at this price level for gold. It may happen this week, it may not happen at all, but well, let us just take a look at it and see how the events unfold. So this is what I am hoping to see in gold for this coming week. However, if that doesn't happen, then the reverse should happen. So that means it comes down, does a retest, successful retest over here, form a lower low, break below this R1, and then rest on the trend line over here, the downtrend line over here. Or yeah, so the R1 would coincide with my uptrend line here. So this is the reverse scenario, which I think it is probable as well, but personally I'm favoring sideways or at least a slightly upside target for gold in the coming week. All right, so that's it. This is what I have for you. So safe trading and stay tuned to my YouTube channel, stay tuned to my updates, And of course, join my Facebook group, search for Swim Trading Trade Discussion. All right, Swim Trading Trade Discussion on Facebook. I would accept your entry into the group because the group is where I would share more of these insights and updates as time goes by. All right, so safe trading. I will see you soon next week. Bye.